Another beautiful afternoon. Once again, this is your lunchtime news, and I'm Patricia Lukoma Mpango. It is the 11th of February 2022, and straight away into the bulletin. The Supreme Court has dismissed with costs an appeal by Bank of Uganda against businessman Sudir Paderia and his real estate Mera Investments Limited. The Supreme Court has ordered the central bank to pay costs at all court levels, right from the commercial bank, and directed that Crane Bank is reverted to its owners. The February 11th, 2022 ruling brings to an end the long-standing commercial dispute between the businessman Sudir and the Ugandan bank regulator dating back to 2017.
Prohibited under the laws of Uganda is a criminal offence.
Like we observed before, the Blasio decision dealt with the issue of parties consenting to withdraw their actions, but at the same time set general principles of application. If an appellant chose to withdraw his appeal, the effect is that the decision of the lower court remains standing. Consequently, the Court of Appeal decision and the orders it made from which the instant appeal emanates stand. Before we take leave of this matter, we note that the Court of Appeal made orders to the effect that the receivership of the appellant had ended on 20th July 2018. The implication of that finding, in our view, is that the management of the appellant reverted to the shareholders after the 20th of January 2018. In the result, this appeal is dismissed with costs to the respondent in the terms found by the lower courts.
First of all, he lost his bank, which actually should never have lost it because of the mistakes of officers of the Bank of Uganda. And he has had to endure the 5 years gauntlet of fighting this massive case for 5 years.
I want to thank the judiciary in the Supreme Court to finally giving me the justice that is brought upon me, you know, by falsely Bank of Uganda taking me to court. So I sincerely thank, you know, the judiciary of Supreme Court and all the courts, where we have now finally we can say justice has been achieved.
Now, members of parliament from the opposition are attending a retreat at Imperial Botanical Beach Hotel in Entebbe. According to the leader of opposition, Matthias Mpuga, the meeting will help them draw experiences from each other and better them in the legislative process. The retreat will also be addressed by leaders of different political parties. The opposition members of parliament resolved last week to boycott parliamentary sittings until the issue of torture is resolved. More of that story will come your way in our subsequent bulletin. Now, Fred Mwema of Mwema and Company Advocates says the judiciary must come out strong on the issue of torturing suspects allegedly by security agencies. Mwema says if this issue is not urgently addressed, it will undermine the strides reached out so far by the country.
prohibited under the laws of Uganda. It's a criminal offense. That we have torture continuing despite several proclamations and announcements by security and so on that this will stop is a failure on our part. All of us, by the way. I have seen the media, you played football with the military, and the next day some people were tortured. We are all guilty of allowing this state of affairs because the punishment for a crime must be given by the court after following a due process. That somebody is punished and tortured on suspicion of having done something wrong, it has no place in our laws. It has no place. And in fact, it is just damaging the reputation of the country. I think if we are talking about Uganda as a serious investment destination, the investors are very interested to know how Uganda treats its citizens, whether it has a functional system, whether it's on judiciary, whether it's on land. If it's not functional, then the investors will run away.
Now into the Ministry of Education and Sports. It is set to partner with stakeholders so as to lead schools towards closing the gap in the sector amidst the recovery from the adverse impacts of COVID-19. The Director of Education Standards at the Ministry, Dr. Kedres Turiagenda, says partnerships are expected to build resilience for the sector.
Lost time. How do we catch up? If a child is being promoted to P4 and has not completed P3, how do we ensure that that child is continuing to learn and there will be no academic learning gap? One of the things that we agreed on and have worked on is to develop what we call the abridged curriculum. I want to make it categorically clear that the abridged curriculum is not a new curriculum. It's not even a revised curriculum. Once that is identified, then they help now the teacher to know this is where my focus is when children are with me at school. Remember.
It's time for us to take a short break. Do not go away. We return with more. Stay with us.
MBs are now bigger MBs only on MTN. When you load a daily bundle of 250 shillings, you no longer get 15 MBs, you get 25 MBs. For 500 shillings, you no longer get 40 MBs, you get 65 MBs. For 1,000 shillings, it's no longer 100 MBs, it's 165 MBs. Dial *150 *10# or use the My MTN app to load bigger daily bundles only on MTN.
Our Ugandan story isn't a new one. It's not about where we come from. It's about what can be accomplished when we're working, living, and growing together. It's about speaking the same language, the language of progress. We're Ugandans building Uganda with Ugandans, skilling Ugandans and developing competencies required in the oil and gas sector, partnering with Ugandan businesses to achieve greatness. We're here to build because at the end of the day, we're truly Ugandan.
It's Freaky Friday from Airtel. Buy or gift. Buy or give.
Get freaky too! Dial *149*10# to load a Freaky Friday bundle for you to enjoy the best offers on voice and data.
To buy a bundle for friends and family, dial *149*10*5#. Freaky Friday with Airtel. Buy or gift a bundle today. Dial *149*10# to get started. Airtel, the smartphone network.
COVID-19 is still here with us. As Professor Maggie Chigozi states, The time is now for all of us to get vaccinated.
When we have one person who's not vaccinated, it affects everybody around them, most especially the ones close to you. Keep your family safe. Anyone right now who's over 18 should go and get vaccinated.
Because of the new COVID-19 circulating variants like Omicron, it is very important for all of us to be fully vaccinated with 2 doses of the same vaccine type. It's only those getting Johnson & Johnson who receive only a single dose to be fully protected.
Even after vaccination, continue to adhere to all SOPs by wearing a mask properly, covering your mouth and nose, washing your hands regularly with soap and clean water or using an alcohol-based sanitizer, maintaining physical distance of at least 2 meters from others and avoiding crowds. Echa COVID-19, chija kugwa. This message is from the Ministry of Health with support from UNICEF and partners.
It's Freaky Friday from Airtel. Buy or gift. Buy or give.
Get freaky too! Dial star 149 star 10 hash to load a Freaky Friday bundle for you to enjoy the best offers on voice and data.
To buy a bundle for friends and family, dial star 149 star 10 star 5 hash. Freaky Friday with Airtel. Buy or gift a bundle today. Dial star 149 star 10 hash to get started. Airtel, the smartphone network.
Raising voices.
As a mother, my children depend on me to make this world a safer place for them. I'm not afraid to act when I see violence in the home and in my community. I promise to talk to my neighbors and friends about how we can nurture and protect the children.
In this time of COVID, what is your promise to the children of Uganda? Because a violence-free childhood is everyone's right. Raising voices.
Your MBs are now bigger MBs only on MTN. When you load a daily bundle of 250 shillings, you no longer get 15 MBs, you get 25 MBs. For 500 shillings, you no longer get 40 MBs, you get 65 MBs. For 1,000 shillings, it's no longer 100 MBs, it's 165 MBs. Dial star 150 star 10 hash or use the My MTN app to load bigger daily bundles only on MTN.
Welcome back. Thank you so much for keeping it with us. Your lunchtime news continues. Minister for Gender Duties Justin Kasule Lumumba has directed Nakaseke District Police Commander to take action against the 3 Nakaseke District officials for allegedly misappropriating funds meant for the implementation of government projects for the last financial year. The vice was unearthed at a local accountability meeting held by the Office of the Prime Minister in Nakaseke District.
A statement to police in Jagala. About health, yes, God make a statement. DPC, these people must come and make statements, and we are going to investigate. Kubanga, bara disi na over investigating eba kologwa. Ka umukologwa mu, nafe katukologwa fe. Abantu b'amazzi, district engineer, district water officer, mugende mukole statement ku police. Essomero lya Kalagala lye bagambye wansi waayatika ne batugamba enzigi zivaamu. Naye mwe mujja wano kuwaza anti tukyalina sente eza liability period. Does that compromise quality? Ekyo kituusa omutindo gwe mulina okuzimbirako ekizimbe emiliyoni 6. Aleze ndi musomesa buli lwampa ekipapula mbisigala wano mu mutwe kati seetaaga kuddayo eri bisoma ne bwe munambuuza enkya figures zammwe nja kuba nzijjukira. District water officer ne mugamba nti buli naikonta mugenda ne mugirongoosa yonna so it's a standard figure muwe musse olwaleero ne babagamba nti ne bye mugamba bye mukola tebiriiyo.
Now in Mulago, the chairperson Uganda Cancer Institute Research Ethics Committee, Dr. David Kayondo, has called for engagement between researchers of herbal medicine and the relevant bodies for proper drug use. Speaking during the meeting between the stakeholders in fighting cancer diseases, Dr. Kayondo says herbal medicine is widely considered for treatment of different diseases but should be assessed through all the clinical trials as required by the medical principles.
Medicine. We have used herbal medicine. Even our ancestors used herbal medicine. But we know as time goes by, research is coming in, science is coming in, and I think there is no problem with doing herbal medicine. But before one declares this herbal medicine, we should have an understanding. Is this one herbal medicine handling all the different kinds of cancers we have? So what you need, with the science we have today, we can still do a little more by just saying I have this herb, but also by being able to use the science we have to know what does it cure, what are the components, what particular cancer does it cure, so that people do use the herbs with more informed, from a more informed point of view. There is no problem with herbs, but we don't need to administer and use them blindly when you have possibilities of finding out what herb can do what, so that we can learn and use it from a more informed point of view.
As with the foresight and forecasting, because we know that certain things may actually change tremendously in 2 or 5 years to come. And how do we cope up with what is happening in terms of our regulatory environment?
It's Freaky Friday from Airtel. Buy or gift. Buy or give.
Get freaky too! Dial star 149 star 10 hash to load a Freaky Friday bundle for you to enjoy the best offers on voice and data.
To buy a bundle for friends and family, dial star 149 star 10 star 5 hash. Freaky Friday with Airtel. Buy or gift a bundle today. Dial star 149 star 10 hash to get started. Airtel, the smartphone network.
Now on to our sports desk. Arsenal claimed a fast win in 6 matches in all competitions, with defender Gabriel scoring the only goal in 1-0 victory at Wolverhampton Wanderers in the Premier League on Thursday. The Brazilian tapped in from close range in the 25th minute to decide a largely forgettable contest that Arsenal ended with 10 men after Gabriel Martinelli was bizarrely sent off with 20 minutes remaining for 2 offences in a second. And that's all we had time for. Thank you so much for choosing us and allowing us in your lunch time. around your space. My name is Patricia Lukoma Mpango. A very good afternoon to you.
MBs are now bigger MBs only on MTN. When you load a daily bundle of 250 shillings, you no longer get 15 MBs, you get 25 MBs. For 500